Week we have talked about Hamilton making its return to the Holt Center here in Eugene, and also making a return to Eugene. Joining us in the studio is Simon Longnight. He's going to be starring in the production, and a Eugene native yourself. First of all, Simon, welcome back to town.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Yeah, what's it like to be back in town kind of in a different way? You're visiting, you're here to perform, or what's it like to be back to the old stomping grounds?
It's amazing, and the weather has been absolutely fabulous. I feel very grateful for this beautiful weather, and like the company that I'm working with, it's a great group of artists, and they are overjoyed by the sun.
Well, have you
so
been
I'm pretending like it's like this all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Have you been away long enough to forget about fall, spring? Because we got the sunshine now. Won't be long before the rain's back.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, well, I'll say sorry to all of your friends in the production for me that we fooled them into thinking that sunshine and blue skies is the norm here in the Willamette Valley. Well, let's talk about that crew that you're working with. You guys are touring around the country doing the Lin-Manuel Miranda production of Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's an international sensation. What's it like to be a kid from Eugene on the stage on that massive platform that, you know, people talk about Hamilton. Everyone knows what you're talking about. What's it like to be at the center of something like that?
It's amazing. It's a masterpiece. I've gotten to work with a lot of the original creatives, and I've gotten to see the inner workings of this incredible project. I personally have found that I kind of view Hamilton today as a creative nonfiction. That it's like we're using rap, R&B, and classic Broadway styles to tell this founding story. And I find that when it comes to each of the characters I play, each have their own special something. Like I find that Lafayette, I play Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson, which when I first saw the show, I loved it. I love those characters specifically. And each one, they carry their own swagger. Lafayette is out there fighting a revolution that he believes in, and Thomas Jefferson is fighting for his personal happiness and pursuing that personal happiness. And it's fun to play with both those, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Eugene, without this community.
Absolutely. Speaking of that community, at home, I don't know how many kids wake up at 5 to 7 a.m. to watch the local news, but if they are watching right now, you were once a kid in Eugene, waking up in these streets and hanging out, I believe, South Eugene High School, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to the Axemen.
Shout out to the Axemen.
There we go. So what is it like talking to a kid that's in your former shoes? How did someone like you make this momentous journey to a point where you're at the stage at the center again of such a world-renowned production?
I would say it was the kindness of others. It was the kindness of dance teachers. I took ballet at Oregon Ballet Academy every day after school, and that was all because of a free boys ballet class that John Grensback offered, and that changed my life. And then Actors Cabaret of Eugene, Joe Zingo. I am truly the product of this community's kindness. And this community's encouragement, and I feel very, very grateful.
You talked about some of your former teachers, the people who led you here.
Yeah.
We did a story with Gold Meadows. You can find it at NBC16.com, talking with those folks. What's it like to see them now in this phase of your life? To be able to look at them and tell them thank you for helping get me to this place.
It's pretty amazing. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Like we've got Pat Avery at South Eugene High School, Joe Zingo, John Grensback. These people really shaped me into the artist I am today, and I feel so grateful that I get to come back to this community and celebrate in a way. Absolutely. I feel that with my roles, the second act gets to be a coming home for Jefferson and also a coming home for me.
Yeah.
And it's really a special experience, and I feel very grateful.
You guys are going here at the Holt Center until April 6th. That's a Sunday night. It's going to be hard to get on that bus and leave town once again?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to leave my family. Shout out to my grandparents. Hi, Grandma, Grandpa. Yeah, it's going to be hard. I enjoy getting to be home, and everyone, my entire company is loving Eugene. Yeah. So we're going to keep them convinced it's always this sunny.
Yeah, the rain's going to scare them off soon enough. I know that. We've been there before. Let's talk about it a little bit. You've been doing this, you said, since 2018, late 2018. You've been on the Hamilton stage. You've been all over the country, all over the world doing this. You told me a little story before we started here about a production in Puerto Rico where you were on the stage with the creator of this production, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Again,
Yeah.
I keep harkening back. I keep tying you back into your beginnings here in Eugene. But what's it like to go from that to you're on an international stage, you're sharing the stage with the person behind this magical production?
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment, like oh my goodness, I made it kind of moment during that time?
Absolutely, the entire time.
Yeah.
So I graduated from the University of Michigan in 2018, and then soon after that, I was able to audition for the show and went in about 7 times, and then they gave me a call and let me know that I booked my dream role, which was
My
the Marquis de
goodness.
Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson,
Wow.
and that I'd be working opposite Lin-Manuel Miranda.
What's that moment like?
I was in shock.
I'd be shaking.
Yeah, it was crazier than my craziest dream.
Yeah.
So then we got to do it, and I got to sit in those chairs backstage next to him and do the cabinet battles with him, and he was extremely kind and extremely considerate, and never gave me a note. And it was a joy to work with him, and he ended up complimenting me in a Twitter post, and that had me crying on my hotel room floor. I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
How is this happening to me? Coming from Eugene, Oregon, working with like Pat Avery at South Eugene High School, doing Into the Woods, which I wasn't cast in. I want Pat, you to always remember
Here,
that.
look at camera 4. You can
Camera
look
4
directly
right
into
here,
camera
there you
4.
go.
There you go.
Thank you, Pat, for not casting me, honestly, because then I had to figure out how to be involved in it. I had to figure out how to. I knew that being a part of the theatrical community was something that mattered greatly to me. Yeah. So I begged him to play the cow. I begged him because I wanted to be a part of the show.
Get me in.
And so I was
Whatever
like, I'll
shape.
make the costume.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's one of my favorite roles I've ever played.
No kidding.
Is Milky White in Into the Woods.
I love that story.
Yeah.
That's a great callback. So for folks, like we talked about, it is a pretty well-known show. It's no mystery. But what can people expect if they're not sure what's happening at a Hamilton production? What can people expect if they go to the show at the Holt Center between now and April 6th?
Yeah, they can expect a community of artists in the first act fighting a revolution. A community of black and brown and bodies of color fighting a revolution that led to the privileges we have today. It's a really beautiful experience. I take a lot of inspiration from Lafayette because he was a revolutionary that fought for some incredibly virtuous ideas.
Yeah.
And then the second act, I play the historically shy Thomas Jefferson, but in our production, he is quite
different.
Yeah, just a little different. I really enjoy getting to play with his confidence, and I also love getting to explore the individual pursuit of happiness, because I find that in the second act, Jefferson is trying to find internal happiness, and he is opposed by someone.
I wonder
Hamilton.
who.
I wonder who. And it creates conflict.
Yeah.
And I feel very grateful that I get to play both those roles, and they inspire me in different ways. And I hope that audiences can be inspired as well by Lafayette's willingness to shake the boat, and the trap Jefferson falls into of being so locked into his own personal pursuit of happiness.
Fabulous. You sound like a great person for the role. Sounds like a great
thank you,
role.
thank you.
And obviously a wonderful production. It goes again, I'll remind people, between now and April 6th at the Holt Center.
And this cast is amazing. This cast they're all stars, and I've gotten to work with many casts, and all of them have been amazing.
Of course, highlighted by Eugene and South Eugene High School's very own Simon Longnight as Hamilton and Lafayette.
As
Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette in Hamilton.
There you go.
Between now and April 6th at the
yes.
Holt Center. Let me tell you, I'm going to book more guests for this show that have been on stage and can speak as nicely as you. You're back anytime you come back into town. Simon, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck through the rest of the shows. And hopefully a bunch of our viewers will be in the stands watching you, cheering for you.
Come on out, you guys. What camera are we at?
Go to 3.
3A. Come on out, you guys. Come say hi.
Absolutely. We will be right back with NBC 16 Today after this.